Well, I pulled the blankets instead of the chair, and it scared me. Welcome back to Everyday Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Everyday Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Lady and the Tramp. Lady and the Tramp is a 2019 Disney Plus original release about a dog named Lady who's dealing and struggling with a new addition to the family, and then she goes around town with a stray dog who doesn't really have a name, but we call Tramp. It is directed by Charlie Bean, cinematography by Enrique Chediak, editing by Melissa Bretheron, Julie Monroe, and Ken O'Keefe, music by Joseph Trapanese, and it's written by Andrew Bujalski and Kari Granlund. The film stars Tessa Thompson as Lady, Justin Theroux as Tramp, Sam Elliott as Trusty, Ashley Jensen as Jacques, Janelle Monae as Peg, Thomas Mann as Jim Deere, and Kiersey Clemons as Darling. In 2018, the film was announced that it would be a Disney Plus original release. They also started casting in July of 2018, and they didn't start casting, but the announcements were in July of 2018. They used real dogs. Yes, obviously they did digital crap to their faces to make them talk, but the dogs running around are real, and you can tell because not everything looks so digital. The voice work began also in July of 2018. The live action filmmaking took place from September 2018 to November 2018. And the film has a tie-in novelization by Elizabeth Rudnick. This is becoming a common thing. It has a 66% Rotten Tomatoes consensus. Lady and the Tramp's cute dogs and likable cast work well enough, but the live action update lacks some of the magic that made the original 1955 film such a delight. Lately, not every movie we've watched recently, but a handful of movies we've watched recently, I feel like the directors find it in the last half or last third. And I feel like that's what happens here. I feel like the directors, they might not know what's going on or exactly what they want in the beginning, but they find it in the excitement of the last little section. I don't know. The opening animated homage at the beginning was a very nice touch. I did really like that. They used live action dogs, which, great, but I hate to tell you all the Air Bud movies did that. All the Air Bud movies used real dogs and then just added digital, mouth moving. And that's what this movie did. And while obviously this digital mouth moving and face moving was infinitely better than any of the Air Bud movies because it's got a significantly bigger budget and is a big, big, big Disney thing, it still isn't great. I don't love when the real-looking dogs' mouths move unrealistically or oddly. I am like, why can't we do what Homeward Bound did? What is so wrong with that? In Homeward Bound, I'm never confused about who's talking. Look at Benji. Benji doesn't even speak, and I understand what's going on in that movie. I just feel like the mouths moving on a live-looking or live animal makes it weird. I don't know how to express it other than it's not as bad as it could have been. This is probably the most acceptable mouth moving that I've probably ever seen, if I'm being perfectly honest, but it still is a little weird. I wish it was just the voices. I don't know why the mouths need to move. I know the mouths move in the animation, but that's different. They also have eyebrows in the animation, so. Lady loving Lulu and them being a family montage was really great. I really liked that montage. Lady meeting the baby in the original animation is my favorite scene in the original animation. And I feel like they somewhat botched that in this because one, they moved it. They moved when Lady meets the baby. And two, they show that Lady loves the baby, but it's not the same. In the animation, Lady sees the baby and you can see the change in her. You can see Lady go from, oh, I'm not excluded, I'd die for this damn child. It's so beautiful. And then I do love that montage though in this film. So I'm glad it finally happens, but I was a little mad that they moved when Lady finally gets to meet the baby. The Bella Notte orchestra opening Beautiful. Love that that was snuck in there in the score right at the opening. Lallaloo is an underrated Disney lullaby. I love it. I learned it in 2019 before we had Noah born, so I could sing it to him because I've sung to all the babies. And so I wanted to learn a new one to add to the repertoire, and I really like Lallaloo. It's one of my favorites because it's part of my favorite scene in the original movie. The Bella Notte sequence in this one, you know, with the famous spaghetti scene, is great. The two guys do a great job singing it. What I loved more was the choral version that, like, came in. The choir that came in after that. That was so reminiscent of old Disney, and it, like, gave me goosebumps. I was like, yes, bring this back. Like, it's okay to not have super poppy sounding music anymore. Like, it's so, oh, it was fantastic. He's a Tramp has never been a favorite for me. Janelle Monae sings the crap out of the song. It's Janelle Monae. She's very talented. But it's just not my favorite song. So, like, it was good, but I'm not like, yeah. This definitely follows the original story or the original movie, but it does obviously deviate and flush out and whatever else. It goes in a little bit different of an order, adds more to the human story of it, which is interesting. The lady opening was pretty good. I liked meeting her, Trusty, Jacques, that whole dynamic, Jim, Dear, and Darling, very sweet, was great opening. When we cut to Tramp and do his whole opening and intro, so bad. The dialogue was so uncomfortable and bad. We cut back to when the baby's born. Ken Jeong being the doctor, he's got like 2 lines and it freaking killed me. He was like, no, in my 38 years of delivering babies, yours is the cutest baby I've ever seen. Like, that took me out. Aunt Sarah is way worse in this movie than the original animation. She's not great in the original animation, right? She doesn't like Lady. She lets her cats do whatever. In this one, this woman, like, actively hates Lady and, like, blames Lady for something that's obviously her cat's fault. There's no way Lady could have done some of the stuff she did. And then she takes Lady to get her a muzzle, dude. Like, that's what caused all the issues. And then Lady running away and her not really, like, friggin' doing anything about it. Absolutely atrocious. I was actively hating her more than, like, I've ever hated Aunt Sarah. And I didn't love Aunt Sarah in the original animation either. She's actually evil. Actually evil in this movie. And then Tramp and Lady's, like, day of falling in love and bonding and whatever is not that good. Like, it's kind of cringe. It's a little bit like the dialogue isn't believable or really, like, necessary. I don't know. It's just not great. And then it culminates in the scene where he's I've never howled before. She's a dog. Of course she has howled before. That scene made me want to crawl out of my skin. I've seen this movie before. I forgot that scene, and honestly, thank goodness. The howling scene is actually so uncomfortable, and I hate it. That obviously leads then to the pound scene where we get, like, he's a tramp, etc. You know, all that good stuff. The dog catcher is a bit much in this one. At least he's not as, like... A lot of the time, the dog catcher in these movies is always, like, comically embarrassing. Like, he's just bad at his job. This one, he, like, at least is, like, a more seriously taken role, so that was kind of nice. He did have a vendetta for this dog. For some reason, unknowing to us, he thought Tramp was dangerous. I don't know why, but whatever. I don't know what happened to him as a child that he's got a vendetta against the dogs. And then, like, the whole, like, taking him out the one-way door, meaning the dog's getting euthanized. That's insane, by the way. And then we get to, the sequence where the rat enters Lulu's room. When the rat enters Lulu's room until the end of this movie, absolutely solid. It's probably the last, 20 minutes or so. Flies! Super entertaining. Really solid story. Really solid beat. Like, I was hooked. There was no more, really bad dialogue, because it was mostly, action and showing us what was happening. You know, like a movie. So, that is probably the strongest part of the movie. Clancy Brown was a dog at the beginning of this, which made me laugh a lot because I love Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown's a famous voice actor. We had a dog at the kennel I used to work at come in named Clancy. His last name was not Brown, but I would call him Clancy Brown because of Clancy Brown, the actor. And so every time he came in, I'd be like, Clancy Brown, Clancy Brown. He has since passed away, which was very devastating. He was a great dog. He was so sweet, and I loved him. But I thought it was funny that I was watching something where Clancy Brown was playing a dog, and I have called a dog Clancy Brown off of the voice actor who's now playing a dog. So that's just a fun little tidbit. Ken Jeong was great. The woman who played Aunt Sarah was also in Avengers Endgame. So I just think it's funny that she's been and then obviously for tried and true, know her as Helen from Drake and Josh, but I digress. The opening titles and font were actually stunning. I normally don't feel like I need to comment on any kind of titles or font or anything, but they were so elegant and I really loved them. Favorite part, the happy ending. How is it not the favorite part? It's so sweet and so great. Least favorite part, probably the dog catcher euthanizing dogs being somewhat shown. Not shown, but shown? Insinuated? Didn't love that. Recommend? I can't say I would. I think if you want to watch Lady and the Tramp, I just watched the original. It's just better. It's just better. Watch again? I can't say I would. I'd probably rather just watch the animation. I think the animation is so sweet and really effective. If I were to watch this again, it would definitely be I'd fast forward to the final sequence, because the final sequence is really good. Yeah, that's really, I feel surprisingly enough, I did like this more this time around. Again, I watched this at launch of Disney Plus because I was excited. And I think this is the last, I need to check the list, but besides The Little Mermaid, I think this is the last live action thing I've seen besides The Little Mermaid 2023. Because I just was okay. Because I haven't seen Pain and Wendy, I haven't seen Snow White, I feel there's more and I'm just not knowing what they are. I just feel I haven't seen a chunk of some of the live action stuff since this. But I do think I enjoyed it more the second time I watched it than the first time. Because the first time I watched it, I feel I genuinely hated it. I was this is terrible, I hate it, it's bad. This time around, the dialogue is just atrocious for a majority of the movie. But it's not the worst, right? It could have been way worse. That's everything I have for Lady and the Tramp. My final rating is going to be 6 collars out of 10. Our total movie count is. Parent death toll and cry count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials and check out my website. Everything's over there. It's so cool. Please go check out my website. It's kind of like a countdown to Vlogmas. The current video that's out, the video that's upcoming that you can already see on Patreon, frequently asked questions. It's really cool, okay? Go check it out. My brother wrote my about page because I couldn't do that about myself. It was too hard. So I had my brother write it. And he's a writer. So that's cool. Join Patreon. Got a tier starting at just $1. We get every video a week early coupon. Oh, and tiers above that, you get daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, etc. Your name could be in the description of my video. Go check it out. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is grand. OG. Until next time, come on, subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so you, and don't be the dog catcher about it. The dog catcher. It's giving Air Bud Cinematic Universe, which is about to expand. By the way, I don't know if anyone's paying attention, but that whole Air Bud Returns movie, that's not a remake. That movie's gonna be meta. The kid who gets the golden retriever to play basketball has seen the Air Bud movie. So now the Air Bud movies and franchise exist in the Air Bud universe. It's getting wackadoo over there.